been like coaching your son on this team?
It's been a good experience. Lot easier than I thought it would be because Coach Lanning, you got Coach Tosh, you got Coach Hampton. Those guys are on his butt for everything, so they get to him before I get to him. I just wait till we get home at night.
Do you have to approach coaching him any differently than the other guys, or be mindful of some of that?
Nah, he's a tough kid. He's been around me all his life, so he understands how I get down and how I coach and how I teach. So he knows when to say when.
What were the things you identified back in the beginning of the offseason, Demetrice, about just pass defense in general and how your group, when Christian was as excellent as he was, to the players who were returning, what were the things you were identifying to areas that you wanted to address starting here in the spring?
Probably anything like everyone else in their secondary. We want to get more takeaways. We want to be more consistent on being 100% tacklers in games and things and such like that. So just getting better with our communications and being more sure of our assignments and techniques and leverages and things like that all help with that stuff. And, second year of the system now, that's, starting to show up now.
What was it about Kyrie Jackson that kind of made him the right fit for you guys to bring in here?
Being that, he's a longer guy. He has a lot of explosion, some good ball skills. And then one of the things is the place that he come from is very similar style of defense. Our defense is, I should probably not free agent friendly. So guys that's been in the system and know the terminology and know some of the fits and adjustments, they usually thrive in it.
You talked about getting more takeaways. How much does Florence talked about playing more nickel? How much does that factor into that? Just getting another cover guy out there and being better in just coverage across the board?
Pretty much just obvious. You're getting a guy that's used to being out there on the island covering. Most offenses now try to put some of their better receivers in there in the slot to create mismatches versus safeties and linebackers and things like that. So if you're able to put a cover corner in there that can hold up in the run for somewhat, then you heighten your chances of getting some more hands on balls.
I feel like he's kind of progressed this spring in that role.
He's doing well. It's still new to him. A lot of the minor nuances within the coverage and stuff like that, but he's doing well. It's coming along. I'm happy at his progress so far.
There's obviously a lot of depth at corner, specifically defensive back. What does the competition look like for some of the younger guys vying for an increased role this year?
Well, it's good. You're not too old, you're not too young. Best man play. So these guys that came in early did themselves a really good service by getting in here early to get this spring ball in, and then it all starts over again for fall camp. So then that's when you can really tell. There's a lot of thinking out there. There's a lot of slow foot. There's a lot of second guessing and things and such like that out there right now where they're not showing their true athleticism yet. You know what I'm saying? So just giving them a chance to learn that kind of stuff and then turn them loose when we get back again.
Where is Dante Manning's game at this year compared to a year ago?
Just trending upwards. He's doing things now that what I'm happy with Dante, he's correcting mistakes before I have to correct him. I don't know how the right way to say that, but he's identifying his mistakes, where last year it had to be pointed out to him. Now this year he knows, hey, I'm like, yeah, eyes, right? Yeah, hands, right? Yeah, so those type of things are where his game is, growing at.
Is that partially a product of him being in this defense for a second year, or is that something he's taken upon himself?
I would say that has some things to do with it, but then just because it's come with his confidence now and things and such like that. So he understands the cause. He knows where he's supposed to be. He's been in it for a whole year, so now he can fine tune those little fine mistakes that he's making.
Maybe unfair to compare anybody to Christian necessarily immediately, but
Yeah.
how confident are you that in the group right now that you have a CB1, that you have a clear half the field guy in the group?
I'll hold that opinion until everybody gets here. Everybody's not here in camp yet, and once they get here, we got guys that still running track in high school and things and such like that. So once they get here, I'll be able to make that assessment. But Gonzo's a pretty tall measuring stick.
And he was a guy who did win it when he enrolled in August, and it's back in Colorado, I'm talking about, as a freshman, in a screwy season that was in 20. What was he able to show when he first came in that made it possible for him, and what does somebody like him who's coming in later have to show to do the same thing?
Well, there was a funny situation. We needed a CB2. They had a CB1, but we didn't have a CB2, and Gonzo was in the safeties room. So I pleaded with the head coach to give him to me at corner, and then he did, and then it took off from there.
What does he owe to not just yourself and plenty of others, but to those guys in high school, those guys back at where guys who moved him from offense to defense, the transfer and all that, just how much does he owe to the many people along the way where next Thursday is going to be a pretty celebrated night for a lot of you?
Well, I mean, shoot. I mean, just the simple fact that they gave him an opportunity and put him in those situations, because those different situations that he was in helped groom him for what he is now, playing offense, playing different sports, going back and forth, getting cut as a freshman, or playing soft freshman ball, not starting, and all that. That all helped who he is now.
You've found some great success recruiting over the past few years. What is it about you, in your own words, that's allowed you to find this success?
I don't know, just kind of just being myself more so than anything, and being a good listener. I think that's a trait that a lot of recruiters might not exercise. They'd rather be the talker than the listener.
When you choose to experiment with moving a guy positionally, how collaborative is that process, and who's involved in something like
Everyone
that?
is. Everyone on defense is. Shoot, offense alike. I mean, like you guys, you got guys that can play offense, defense. Obviously, the offensive coaches have to be involved in that, and on defense, moving guys around, it's have to be a collaborative decision, because everybody's have to work independently to get that guy caught up. So, different meeting times, different individuals, different techniques, things and such like that. It all plays big.
Is it ever difficult to let a guy go from your room to maybe to a different spot, or?
Only when they come back and they make a mistake on the field when they wasn't in your meeting on something that you went over. Like, I just went over that today, man. Oh, you wasn't in there. That type of thing. So, yeah.
When you add the number of guys in the offseason that you do, and some who are still on the way, people read into that as that you're trying to overhaul the position a bit and bring in talent acquisition is a big part of it. What is the message you're trying to send to the guys who are returning in your room about urgency, about improvement, about development, that yes, competition is coming and it's increasing, and there's an end goal here?
They know that. They know me. This will go back to the question about recruiting. They know that from the get-go. When I first walk in the door, hey, man, I'm here my job depends on me getting guys that are better than you. Your job is those guys that I think they're better than you, show that they're not. Simple.
You get to watch Troy Franklin every day in practice. What has he kind of added to his game? How has he improved over the last year, you think?
I think his urgency on every rep now. Where maybe last year he may have took a rep or two off and things and such like that, but now, he goes hard every rep. So now his routes look the same as his run blocks, things and such like that. So little things in his game that he's tweaked that Coach Adams has done a hell of a job, getting him caught up with is nice to see. It's nice to see.
What is the next step for Trequez Bridges? What do you want to see out of him next season?
The ability to make the plays like he did last year. He made some really good plays, but there were a lot of plays that he left out there, and I think that he'd be ready to star and make those plays. Him being cross-trained, playing multiple positions on defense also is going to help him out a lot. So I think he understands where his fits are and know how to get everybody else lined up. So being more of a leader, and I think that's where Trequez is being really strong at right now.